works, huh?
I'm gonna try to. We'll see if it's worth anything.
You running knee boots right now. Yeah, we'll see how that works. That's not what I would do. That is what you do.
Alright, it's second day of season. We're going in for the first time. We noticed this whole block didn't have much pressure in it yesterday. There just weren't a lot of people parked off the road. There was one guy a couple miles down the road, but it seems like we got a big area to ourselves, so we're gonna just hike in here a little bit, kind of get a feel for it. Boots on the ground.
Just gonna go make sure there's no turkeys back in there.
We gotta just make sure of that. It's on them.
Think we're gonna hear one gobble?
I hope so. The animals are going, so there's a chance. You really wanting an update?
Yeah, let's go.
Alright.
What time is it?
Now, the time is we're all over them.
I figured we'd have one down by now.
Yeah. Jake just said that this is pretty easy. We haven't heard anything, but we've seen a couple turkey tracks. We think they're turkey tracks. We've seen some animal sign. There's definitely animals back here. There's trails. We're following those. It looks like turkey habitat, but we don't really know.
Kind of describe the habitat.
I would say
what we're moving towards.
Right now we're focusing on high points. We're looking at the topo map on Onyx and just looking for like higher ground. It's been dry so far. I don't know that that's going to be the case everywhere we go, but it's what it is here, and we're just targeting this dry area because we feel like the turkeys for sure will be around this big patch of dry pine.
And it doesn't seem like a ton of guys have been in here. It seems like one guy walking and one guy riding a bike.
Yeah, we're just going to keep walking down through here trying to cross different patches of cover. You know, when you hit these openings, it's kind of like meadowy, and that's off to our right, and we just walked through all that, and now we're in this patch of palm trees and pines. There's kind of just some shrubby, brushy stuff too. It's pretty thick, but there's also just enough opening where we think a turkey could come hang out. Seems like they want to roost in the pines. That's what people have been telling us, and you know, that's kind of what we're targeting. We're just going to keep hitting big chunks of these pines, walking through them, calling, listening, trying to hear a turkey in some way, but that's our strategy for now, is just to learn this area and what the different habitat types are like. You think that's a panther? You think
size, isn't it?
Bobcat? Yeah, it's pretty decent.
A big bobcat.
Yeah. They're just right here.
They're hunting, we're hunting.
We're hunting turkeys and they're hunting us.
They're using these roads.
Mm-hmm.
Here she comes. She's coming in. It's a decent sign. They like us.
Here she comes, touch right over there.
See you later. Good luck. You're gonna need it.
Turkey across the road! Turkey across the road! And just across the road. Is this some sort of wildlife hole?
1 minute there's a snake crossing the road. Next minute there's a hen crossing the road. It's a little before 2 o'clock and we just stopped and looked at some wildlife there and we saw a turkey cross the road. It's the second hen that we've seen, and then we saw Tom and a couple hens yesterday. There's some hunters out for sure, but I wouldn't say the pressure's real crazy bad. I think the biggest challenge is just going to be finding turkeys, because we didn't hear anything this morning and didn't really see a lot of sign, but we are seeing turkeys on the road, so we know they exist. We just got to kind of figure out where they want to hang out. That's our next goal. I'd say we're going to go do a little bit of scouting and hopefully find some sign. Should tell us a lot.
They didn't have a bird.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have a bird.
How you guys feeling about it?
Not good. Man, we saw a hen, so felt good, but
I just feel like literally everybody's coming to this spot. I think there's turkeys across the board. Maybe we should just go somewhere else.
It's good get out though.
Well, we gotta stretch the legs, get a little bit of mileage in, and get back in the truck and put the miles on in the truck again.
They come in silent.
Really?
Yeah, they don't gobble all morning. Next thing you know, you got one in front of you.
Really? Hear them drumming or anything? Really?
If they would, I'd be ready for it. I had the same thing happen to me last year, and I finally got a shot off, but I shot right over his back. So I'm trying to bullheads this year for the headshots.
This and everybody's going up and hunting in this.
Yeah.
I just feel like if you could just maybe even just drop right into there, that's probably gonna be wet to a certain point, but
Yeah.
I think that there's gotta be turkeys back in that stuff.
Where do you think we want to start tomorrow?
We could always just go in blind either side of the road right here because we know that there's turkeys there because we saw. All right, it's the end of day 2 and how do we feel?
It's early.
Well,
It's early yet.
no.
We're gonna get onto it tomorrow. I think once we finally get onto a bird, it's gonna really obviously pick up. But it might be another day or two. Who knows?
Yeah, we definitely have not been putting in much legwork. We've just been driving around trying to understand big scale. We're gonna have to start getting wet, I think is what the real deal is. We're gonna have to start getting in there with them. We talked to a guy that shot a turkey tonight, and he said that he had put on, like a lot of
19 miles, I
18
think.
Yeah.
miles. You got a bike.
Day 3's tomorrow. We're gonna go up to an area where we think there's some turkeys. Saw some hens today. We'll be after them in the morning. Should be fun.
Things are gonna start picking up here.
Hopefully the wind is not one of those things. Should be quiet to sneak through there. It's morning 2 for us here. We're gonna go into a different spot. It looks like there's some high ground back here, but there's a pretty good chance we're gonna walk through some water in the dark. Some gators. Yeah, so we're gonna go for it. It's about a mile back, so we're gonna check it out, and then if that doesn't pan out, just probably keep covering around and try to get into the nasty stuff today, because pretty much what we can gather is everybody's doing the same thing, hunting from these roads, and we're seeing some pressure, but not as bad as we thought. I think we just got to get off the road and start finding some signs. So. That's bear poop. Not good. We're making about 10 yards in. Come across some bear poop. That's awesome. Wait for a gator to come up to one of us. We're standing there talking about if we wanted to go across that deep water, and we're talking about gators and different stuff. So I stand right behind Jake, and I just slowly creep my foot right between his boots. Jumped and ran back to the dry ground.
Right where the gators land.
Oh, no big deal. Does it look cool to walk through this water? Yeah, it feels cool too.
I haven't heard anything. Been walking through a bunch of thick stuff back this way. Walked what, 1.5, 2 miles. Walked through a bunch of water. Haven't seen any gators, but it feels like we're fending some off, so.
Haven't seen any turkeys either.
Yeah, haven't found much for sign or anything, so just covering ground. We're starting to work back towards the car now, and then I think we're gonna jump to a different spot and check out some different habitat.
Good news is there's another channel on the edge of this. So, I mean, no big deal. We'll just cross up to our...
Yeah, smoking these Osceola. Start calling them Osceola, however you can.
So I got
What happened to you? I don't know. Got bit by a snake or something. I'm dizzy, can't breathe. We're gonna get one roosted though.
You're dizzy too?
No, I'm good. I think I ate too much.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that's it. I just think that there's going to be places that have this grass with something that's mad at the grass, whether that's like other animal sign or just the fact that everything frequents an edge. Like I think that's what we're looking for. It's where that grass is low. I think this even looks wet on the map. Like it looks real dark. The first key won't pop up. Alright, it's day 3. Brief overview is that we didn't really see anything yesterday. We went into an area and hunted, didn't hear anything, didn't see any like obvious sign. So we're gonna check out a different habitat type. Feeling confident going into this morning. I think we're gonna walk a decent little bit. We got some time before daylight, so hopefully we can cover a little bit of ground and maybe actually get ears on something. If not, gonna just scout around and try to find some sign. Let's hunt them.
It's a new day. That's right.
We got some bikers coming down the road.
There's a guy back. I'm Hank. It's Kevin.
Nice to meet you.
There's a guy way back there, Zach.
Okay. We're thinking about going like that a little bit and then going that way.
It's the first time back in here.
Okay. Yeah.
And we usually hunted the other side, and we're ready for the video.
Jake's back there somewhere.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he had to drop back.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Nature called him.
Yeah. So don't run over him.
Yeah.
He's coming back to catch
We
up.
enjoy y'all show.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
My dog loves you, Teddy.
I was the one that...
Well, hopefully somebody can run into something today. Good luck to you guys.
Y'all too. Take care. Y'all be safe. Best of luck.
Yeah, you too. Thank you. Somebody's parked there. Let's just go back up and just take that other, there was another trail over there. We could try to take that and just see if we can even get back in there. I don't know that we can. It might just be thick, but we can try. I think we can go through that. Too. And then just follow that like little road back in there. There's a cool looking bird. We're dealing with some people this morning. We drove a ways from our camp to get back here, and then people came from a different camping area to get back here too. So we're just starting to walk in. I think this is exactly what we're looking for, though. I mean, even a little opening like this where the grass is lower. So I think the turkeys are going to be chasing that low vegetation. So we're going to go back here and check out as many different areas as we can and look back to the truck at some point. There's boot tracks too, I saw. That's superb. We're walking in, and we're walking right along this edge. There's palm trees and stuff over here. And there's like taller grass over here, and there's a trail right on the edge, or the transition. There's a nice deer track right there. I think if you're hunting an area like this, this is an example of a transition line that we would look for. You know, there's great places to set up on this edge, and you can shoot this trail with a bow really easily. Obviously, deer walk down it, but it's a good spot. So if you're hunting what seems like a monotonous swamp, you know, look for edges like this one. If you're deer hunting.
Yeah. Set up right there. I think I'd blend in pretty well right in that stuff. It's a buck. It's a buck. Yeah, Jake. It looks like it's got big old knobs on its head. Should I get closer? It was a bug, which is sweet. Sweet, we're literally just talking about the track. There's actually a lot more deer than I thought there was gonna be.
Yeah.
I'm actually dropping deer pins just as much.
Any more?
I think I might come back and deer hunt at some point in my life. I think it would be super fun. I think this is really cool. And I think we just walk fast till we hit those bigger pines over there, right?
Yeah.
Then regroup. Takes longer than it looks like it's gonna take.
Well, things went well, huh?
One of it.
That's cool. Congrats.
Good to see you in the daylight.
Yeah.
Man. He had a brother with him, so.
Really?
But look how small they are.
Yeah, it's funny
I mean,
though.
the feet, we kept thinking we were seeing hen tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, but they're razor sharp, because we saw a buddy of ours, he had 1.5 inches, and they were just razor sharp and skinny like
The
that.
guy that had the turkey up at the check station the other day, it was huge. It was way bigger than that. I mean, like, makes this thing look tiny. That thing seriously looked like a northern Easter.
He said it.
That's what Jay's was.
He said it was 21 pounds of
Yeah,
it.
Jay said his weight.
I bet you that joker,
That's a 14, 15 pounder.
hey, you need to measure for the long bird. I bet you he's not
Yeah.
39 inches.
No, he's not.
What's
He's
y'all's-
not very
What's y'all's
long.
record? 46?
Yeah,
48,
You got
not
one?
48.
I got my tape.
I mean, all this crap, and you walk out and there's just one spot and it's open. It's like tracks everywhere. You can't see turkey tracks, but I just filmed a deer walk by, and I'd heard a hen earlier, and I mean, they come inside at
Okay.
10:30. I mean, I just call every 15 minutes.
But you had
just
heard
softly.
him. But you had heard
We
him.
heard them on the roost, and that was it.
Yeah, we
Mhm.
went towards them.
We went toward them.
Got them to gobble one more time. Both of them gobbled. And then when we got down there,
called, and he gobbled.
and then we got down there, and it was just so thick, and we were making so much noise. I'm like, dude, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah, that thing's tiny, man.
Yeah, but most of them are, I believe, like that.
Oh yeah, I think most of them are. That one that got shot was just abnormally big. He's even got like a small head on him, you know.
Yeah.
It's like a.
Oh, Kevin even said, he's like, I saw the red, but I was thinking that's a hen, and then finally he turned and the beard flopped. He's like,
It was just dull red. It wasn't really vibrant red. And then he had his buddy with him, and I reached up to turn the barrel camera on. And as soon as I did that, his buddy saw me, putted. He'd come back, and I'll just wait at a hole like that. And 30 yards.
30.
30. He's about 25 when I first saw him, just standing there like this, and I was right here.
So
I
did
was
you?
like,
So when
is
you
that real?
So you heard him, you followed the gobble, you just happened to come across this opening and you're like, this is it? Or had you picked a spot on the map?
I made a video because it was an oak tree and we were looking for oak trees to drop acres. And they just scratch around.
The only thing I've learned down here is when you hear the owls, you know there's squirrels there, so there's going to be acres there. And literally, almost to the dime is how it happened to me last year. I saw a squirrel, saw the deer, and killed the turkey. Pre-advertise it. It's one of my gifts to my best buddy.
You gotta put this on.
I buy it.
Pretty nice.
Hey,
Did y'all Photoshop that belly and put some ads in there?
It's again, race
The do-over.
Daddy, I gotta make your head swell a little bit because I know sometimes, you know, just the way the women fall at you. That's me and my daughter talking. She's awesome. 21 and beautiful. And beautiful.
Now you got the bubble, right?
She made the Georgia Outdoor News this year with a 10-pointer. She killed her bow with me up in the tree with her. Cool. And she tagged out last year in Georgia too. So in the first 2 weeks.
Give Ted her number.
But no. Here comes the good part.
But then I'd have to lecture you. I had to do the daddy thing. That's not gonna be good on video.
So bust Teddy's bubble.
What's that?
Who's she really like?
Jake.
You gotta love it! But Jake's yeah! Teddy ain't got nothing on me!
But she's always talking about Teddy, and she said, well, what about Jake? I'm like, what about Jake? You like Jake?
Nice meeting you.
We have thoroughly
Congrats
enjoyed it.
again, that's awesome.
And the 33. Or at least,
Good meeting you guys.
Make and share with you.
Get one?
I did.
Heck yeah.
Well, we would have been right in that area if you weren't there before us. So did he gobble later in the morning?
No, and it wasn't even there. I'd moved locations because I was there, nothing gobbled, and I'm like, well, if he's not gobbling, I don't know where he's at. So I got up and just left really early. Went to another spot, walked in, was seeing turkey sign, seeing a lot of people tracks too, and I'm like, well, I got enough water and enough food with me, I'll just hike. And so I just started hiking back there, got really hot, sat down, took my boots off, was just sitting there looking at Onyx on my phone, and I called before I sat down. I look up and there's a turkey standing from me to your front tire. He sticks his head down, I grab the gun, and there's a bush there, so as soon as he goes behind the bush, I kind of ease around, and then he walks off. I call a couple times, he turns around, comes back up, shooting about 24 yards.
Just never gobbled, never
gobbled.
strutted? Did he strut? No kidding. Those guys on the bike, one of them killed a turkey closer to our truck than we ended up to our truck this morning.
Huh.
So like we parked right by where the turkey was. He was just right off that road.
Huh.
You heard him from that road, and they moved in there, lost track of him, set up, showed up with another turkey silent. That thing was tiny. What's this thing look like?
Tiny.
Tiny? It's bigger than the other one though.
Yeah, he's light.
Oh, it's definitely bigger than that last one though. The spurs are sharp. I got myself cut there.
Yeah.
That's
sharp
sweet.
spurs.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats.
He's
That's awesome, man.
real red up here too. Real cool
Look
fan.
how like thin that is.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. The head's way different. That one that we just saw didn't have that knob on it, you know?
Right. That was what got him killed. That big white knob. I'm like, it's got to be a gobbler sneaking in here quiet.
If somebody didn't tell me that was the main difference, I would probably barely even notice that.
Right. This
that
one's
really
not
is
as
the
dark.
only thing you can tell is that's even different is the wings are way darker. If I saw an eastern that looked like that, I would just be like, oh, it's just different. I shot one in Iowa one time that was mostly white. This whole thing was like real white.
Do you have this thing like stretched at all?
No.
Do you have lines for it?
Yeah.
If it rains, are you going to use those, or are you just going to keep with it?
If it rains, yeah, I don't think it's supposed to, is it?
Not till 10 days from now.
Is this thing bear proof? Panther proof? Seems like it was, doesn't it?
Alright, picture this. I'm a bear.
I got the bar in here.
Do you think that this thing's pretty waterproof, though, if it does rain?
I mean, if I got it set up right, yeah.
It'll work.
Alright, it's evening time. We're doing our typical rituals, having some peanut butter. It's good. We had to stop at the gas station and get a couple of these. They're small ones because that's what the option was. So today we're supporting the just regular generic creamy peanut butter. Tastes fantastic. You add that with a banana or an apple or something and you're just gonna have a time. But at the end of the day, I don't know, covered some ground at this point and feeling pretty confident going into tomorrow. Just want to cover more ground, try to find more areas to kind of hone in on, I guess. We got big areas and I'm gonna go check out different habitats still, and then from there it's just picking where the best sign was and focusing in on those specific spots. So back after them in the morning.